Been on occupied.
Evening and Happy New Year. Welcome to the City of North Myrtle Beach's Board of Zoning of Appeals, January 2026 meeting. I'd like to go ahead and call the meeting to order, and if we can get a roll call.
Chairman McGonigal,
Here?
Andy Thomas,
Here.
Mendel Bell,
Here.
Joe Reeves,
Here.
Cynthia Lover,
Here.
Wyman Wise,
Here.
Melissa Wobler.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Great, thank you. All right, let's go ahead and, if we could take a second to review the December 11th meeting, 2025 minutes, if we can get a motion to approve those after reviewing.
Motion.
Got a motion from Ms. Wober, and do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have a second from Mr. Bell? Any discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
And I'm abstaining, I wasn't here at the last meeting. Thank you. All right, Ms. Dawn, if we could swear in anybody that's planning on speaking today, if you can rise, and we're going to get you all sworn in.
All right, if you could stand and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly state, under penalty or perjury, that the evidence that you shall give in this matter shall be true, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yep.
All right.
Thank you, Ms. Snyder. And any communications, Mr. Caldwell, any communications?
No, sir.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to the first item on the agenda. We've got item number 1 with BZA 25-40, an application by Roger Roy for a 15-foot front yard variance and a 10-foot side yard variance for a proposed residential project at 6810 Water Tower Road, zone medium-density residential in the R2 district. Mr. Roy?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a piece of property that's on Water Tower Road that is 2 lots are going together to make one project out of those 2 lots. There is a 20-foot easement that has been given to the city for the road widening. There's a 35-foot setback off the road to start with for this project on Water Tower Road. So the front yard, we're asking for a 15-foot exemption or reduction in the setback due to all that's there in front of it because it butts that road, which is along the back fence of Barefoot. The side yard setback deals with a flag lot that is there. That flag lot is essentially a driveway that goes back to a cell tower. So asking for that 10-foot on that side would not be injurious to the owner that's next to it because it's essentially a driveway to go to a cell tower. The property on the north and east side is filled with wetlands. And with that wetlands also requires a setback or a buffer as well, which then further limits the size of the property. So it's unique in that fact that the lot that's there is different in shape than the other lots that are on that road, and it's 2 lots together. There is another townhome project going up to the west of the flag lot as well. So it's the type of development that's going on. This is going to be an over 55 community with amenities and everything else that go along with that community. So what the developer is asking for is that front yard setback to be limited by 15 feet. Even though you've got 35 plus another 10 feet, you'll have 45 feet from the roadway to start with for that buffer. And then on the other side, there's a basically a 30-foot flag lot going back in which those buildings will be placed against that. There will be real estate, there will be a buffer there for vegetation and shrubs and the like. And then also all that green space is going to be around for the wetlands and the additional, landscaping that has to be put by that wetlands as well. So those are the reasons. It does not injurious to anybody out there. The lot is a little different than the other lots that are out there within the city limits.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Roy?
So realistically, you're just asking for kind of a landscaping buffer, really?
That's it.
That's it? You're not going to build outside that setback, just a
No.
landscaping buffer?
Nope.
Okay.
So, and you're saying there's a 35-foot roadway setback?
If you'll look at the plat that's in your packet, there's a 35-foot, and that's what's required there, because the road in Water Tower Road, the city's going to expand it at some point in time. So I'm assuming as these lots come in, there's going to be easements signed with the city that will allow them to expand the roadway to make another lane out of it.
That's what my question is. So if they do make the road wider, then how close is the building going to be to the road?
So that road, if they add a lane on one side of it, of course, it's going to be a 60-foot right-of-way, so 15 more feet would go, and you would still have 30 feet left.
So the building would still be 30 feet from the road if they used up the whole,
The landscape buffer, there's still another 10 feet there, so you would still have an additional 10 feet in that buffer as well.
okay. So if they expanded the road as wide as they could expand it, how much space would be between the pavement and the building?
So 25 feet.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from Mr. Roy?
Which is that's standard for R1, right? 25
is.
foot? Okay.
It's what the normal setback is
Normal
25
setbacks.
feet for the front
25
yard.
feet, right? Yeah, okay.
Any other questions for Mr. Roy? Okay, we'll hear from the city.
Petitioner Roger Roy has submitted an application for a 15-foot variance of the required 25-foot front yard setback and a 10-foot reduction of the required 20-foot side yard setback at 6810 Water Tower Road, Zone Medium Density Residential R2 District. The proposed residential project has a project setback of 25 foot in the front and 20 on the sides. This is land that will be owned in common. Commonly owned projects feature perimeter project setbacks, and the homes and buildings within have, in lieu of setbacks, minimum separations. Staff recommends that the board review the variance application and attached plot plan, hear the evidence presented at the meeting, and review section 2319.
Thank you, Mr. Caldwell.
You're welcome.
You know, so everybody else understands this as well, even myself, but, I called you earlier about to ask what was the ramifications. Give me those numbers again, because I just wanted to make sure I got those numbers right. Because the developer already conveyed how many feet for
They haven't conveyed it yet, but it'll stay private property until what time the city is going to widen the road, and then he will convey it to the city.
Okay, and how many feet was that conveyed?
I gave you a drawing that I
You
think.
did, that's what I was, and is it,
in the one in the packet.
I know, that's what I wanted to make sure, I just understood make sure we have the correct math.
There was an earlier version that showed the 35 and a 20
Okay.
foot setback in the front. It's since been reduced to 15, but there's a 35 foot wide strip of land that will be conveyed.
Conveyed, got it. We were just concerned, I think that was one of the big questions everybody had, making sure that they had enough room for widening it.
Yes.
My concern is more so if they widen the road as wide as they can ride it, the people that would buy one of these townhomes now, thinking that they had some seclusion from the road and traffic noises, that later on, they wouldn't get a rude awakening and have a road right outside their bedroom window or right outside their window. So that's my concern is how far away, if they do the road as wide as they can do it, how much protection will the buyers of these condos have from the road?
Would that not be in the deed? When they buy it?
Probably not. It's all in common. It's commonly owned. So we don't have a cross-section of what the road may look like in the future. So I don't know if it's possible to answer that question. But I would assume a 12-foot, 13-foot wide lane and then additional right-of-way to the property line.
Mr. Roy said he thinks that the building itself would then be 25 feet from the road. Do you think that's accurate?
I would think that if he reduces the front yard setback to 15 and the roadway width is only 12 to 14 foot wide, there would be more than that.
Okay.
Because you have a 15-foot landscaping buffer already, plus an additional 35 feet, which is 50 feet. So you're saying a 12 to 13 off of that 50 feet?
That's just a guess without having a cross-section of proposed right-of-way.
Okay.
Mr. Roy, you got a second?
This was to address, Ms. Lover, these are not going to be sold. This is going to be a project in which they're going to be rented. It's an over 55 community. It's going to be a rental community.
Okay, so it's not, the only person that's going to own it is KTAD or
That's
whoever
correct.
their successor may be.
That's correct.
Okay, so the people that would be living there, they could move in, and if they didn't like the noise from the road, they could move, and they wouldn't have any reduction in their property values.
Exactly.
Okay.
Good question. Any other questions for Mr. Roy or the city?
So that, just to make sure we're on the same page, that still will leave about a 35-foot buffer if you did the expansion of the lane, right?
Approximately, yes.
Okay. That's still not bad. To the front of the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I feel better just because knowing that it's not going to be an individual owner that somehow finds out
It's surprise,
they
right?
didn't, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, they didn't get what they thought they were getting.
Good deal.
Okay.
Any other questions for the city? Any questions for Mr. Roy? Is anyone prepared to make a motion?
I'll make a motion. I move that the board grant variance BZA 2540 with a 50-foot front yard variance and a 10-foot side variance because the applicant has demonstrated unnecessary hardships. Specifically, there are extraordinary and exceptional conditions pertaining to the particular piece of property. To me, that not only the shape, but the wetlands on taking up one side makes that, it could even be used, is that can you use the whole thing for that? These conditions do not generally apply in other properties in the vicinity. Because of these conditions, the application will effectively prohibit or unreasonably restrict the utilization of the property. The operation of the variance would not be substantial to the detriment to adjacent properties or the public good, and the character of the district would not be harmed by granting of the variance. Took care of that, so I believe that's what I got.
I want to clarify, it's a 15-foot variance, not a 50-foot variance, right?
Yeah, that's what,
That's what I said, I read it right, 15 foot from the front.
Okay. All right.
Good. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, and is there anyone here that wants to speak on this project? I got a little ahead of myself on that. No? Great, thank you. We've got a motion by Mr. Wise and a second by Mr. Thomas. Any other discussions or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Guys have it. Great, thank you. All right, we'll go to, let's go to item number 2 on the agenda. We've got BZA 25-41, an application by Jared Roberts to remove a multi-trunk tree at 1603 Hillside Drive South. Mr. Roberts?
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hello.
How are you?
It's a 50-foot wide lot, and the cedar tree in question is center front of that lot, making it kind of prohibitive to work a driveway. And we've also got some utilities that need to come across that front that are, even if the tree was saved, the Santee Cooper's going to butcher the root system and kill it anyway, so.
Great. Do you, I should have taken a picture of it. Do you have a picture
I
of?
left it in the garage.
I know. Well, it's, like you said, it's right in the middle of the lot. That's what
Sir.
I was trying to figure out how because you had the 2 lots right there.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct, yes, sir.
So my question is the lot in the rear, right? I mean, there's a lot where there's a foundation laid out, not that lot, the lot behind
Right,
it.
there's actually, where that foundation is, there's 2 additional lots to the right of it, and it's the one to the far right.
So the tree itself is on Hillside? It's
Correct.
not the one in that front corner of Hillside and,
No, ma'am, that is being saved.
okay,
That one will always be there.
okay.
That's on a different lot.
Faces Hillside, right? Yeah.
Correct, yes, sir.
With us.
It was one that, yeah, you got the one
Got it.
picture.
So
It was the only one that had the split tree.
there's 3 trees, there's 3 lots there,
Yes, ma'am.
correct, okay. And I don't see any trees on there now except those ones around the fringe, which that one you say needs protected.
Yes, ma'am.
The one that was on the front, it was close to the street, correct?
Yes, sir.
And it was a double
Correct.
That's, I want to make sure it was
It's actually it's got a third little
coming off of there, yeah.
coming off of it.
All right, any other questions for Mr. Roberts? All right, give a second, we're going to hear from the city. Thank you.
Petitioner Jared Roberts has applied to remove a tree in excess of 24 inches at 1603 Hillside Drive South. The tree is a 28-inch multi-trunk. Trees exceeding 24 caliper inches shall only be removed upon approval by the board. The board is charged with setting a suitable tree replacement schedule. The city council has also approved a tree bank where individuals can pay $300 per caliper inch of required planting. Staff recommends that the board review the variance application, hear the evidence presented at the meeting, and review section 2368.
Thank you, Ms. Caldwell. Gosh, there was a question I had on the, is this a DOT road? I think, did we see that in the,
I don't know.
okay, on the hillside? Because that's what makes it challenging when you've got, they kind of dictate where it's at, and this thing happens to be in the middle. So, any questions for the city? Any questions for Mr. Roberts? Is there anyone here that would like to comment on the tree, about the tree or this lot? Great, thank you. Anyone prepared to make a motion?
I'll make a motion. Go ahead, Ms. Glover.
Okay. I was going to make a motion that we grant the variance BZA 25-41 on the grounds that there's a hardship with the location of the tree that's there, and approve the variance with the requirement that he replace 14 inches of trees on that lot, that they be, even though it is a cedar you're taking out, that you replace it with hardwoods, or pay $4,200 into the tree bank, or some combination thereof, but only on that lot, not somewhere. I know you own a lot of property, so no, not somewhere else in the city, but just put some greens, put a tree back on that lot, or 14 inches of trees.
We got a motion by Ms. Lover. Is there someone prepared to make a second?
I'll second.
Got a second from Mr. Reeves. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nice have it. Never know. Great, thank you. Next item on the agenda, we've got item number 3, BZA 25-42. An application by William McFall to exceed the maximum signage allowance for an under-construction 24,900 square foot family dining and entertainment facility at 3607 Highway 17 South, Zone Highway Commercial in the 8C District. Is Mr. McFall here? Sir. Come on and introduce yourself and tell us about it.
Hi, Bill McFall. Thank you for your time. As you just described, we're building a 25,000 square foot restaurant on a 2.75 acre lot in North Myrtle Beach. My understanding is the signage is limited to 150 square feet. Our project is going to include a beverage and dining component. There's a bowling component, arcade component, and mini golf component in the front of the property. What we're asking for, and I submitted schedules for each side of the building, or 3 of the sides of the building, as well as a pylon sign. So we're looking for a variance to exceed the 150 square feet based on the number of uses within our venue, and then also the sheer size of the project. Additionally, when we were going through our original zoning and planning approvals, there is a significant live oak in the center of the property. Preserving that tree affected how we could lay out the building. So the building is pushed, I get so confused with north to south in North Myrtle Beach, but south is towards the beach. I believe north is towards the highway. So the building sits north-south on the farthest west side of the property. So with that, our potential visibility is impacted significantly, but we were happy to save the tree. So therefore, we've submitted a signage package to try to promote the different uses on the property basically compete with our neighbors that there's a ton of signage up and down 17. So we're looking for exposure and trying to capitalize on the size of the building, the project, and the lot itself. And as you know, if we were to put a commercial building and carve it up into, I guess we could get maybe up to 10 spaces, then my understanding is each of those spaces would be allowed 150 square feet. So on the same lot, it would exceed the 150 that we are allowed.
So what is the amount of the variance you're looking for?
Actually, it depends. I'm not quite certain, and I couldn't get a clarification about what's included in signage. We currently operate restaurants in Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia. 3 of those are alley-oops concepts. And in each jurisdiction, it's a little different as to what they calculate as signage. So if you look at our package, there's a Jeep Woody vehicle that is viewed as artwork in some jurisdictions. So I'm not quite sure. Within the schedules that I presented, each of the signs, the size of them is delineated. So for instance, if you were to look at the east elevation signage, that Woody car is 20 square feet. There's 2 of them on that elevation. So I'm not sure if that 40 counts or not. But if on that whole east elevation, if you were to add up the 5 signs that are included there, of which 2 of those are a Woody sign, and then we have Dine Bowl Play that includes a fork and knife, a bowling pin, a tropical drink, and a golf green. All of that adds up to 250 square feet just for that elevation. And then similarly, it's spelled out specific to each component of signage on each elevation, each of the 3 elevations, as well as the pylon.
Thank you. Any other questions for Mr. McFall?
Does this sign light up?
Yes, they're all backlit.
And you'll have a digital component as well?
I'm sorry?
You'll have a digital component
Yes,
as
on the
well?
pylon sign. So there's a separate submission for the pylon sign, and that sign is about, again, I'm not sure if all the artwork is included, but if you were to take, and actually it's an odd shape, but if you were to just take the width dimension and the height dimension, it's 130 square feet, but of course the corners are cut out given the sign. And then the EMC sign is 5'3" by 9'3", so an additional approximately 50 square feet.
Great. Any other questions for Mr. McFall? Great, thank you. We're going to hear from the city, and we'll be back to you.
Petitioner William McFall has submitted an application for a variance to increase the allowable square footage of signage at the under-construction alley-oops being built at 3607 Highway 17 South within the Highway Commercial HC District. The sign ordinance allows up to 150 square foot of signage on this lot. The applicant is asking for approximately 756 square foot of building and freestanding signage combined. Staff recommends that the board review the variance application, the attached drawings, and review section 233610E.
Great, thank you, Ms. Colwell.
Welcome.
Any questions for the city?
So Ben, how much of a variance is he asking for? He can have 150, and he's asking for a 606. He wants a 606-foot variance.
Mr. Colwell, on the face of the buildings, we're not factoring that. We've got that plus the 150, correct?
I'm sorry, could you repeat yourself?
The linear space of the buildings?
Uh-huh.
And what is the?
The ordinance allows 1 square foot per linear foot, not to exceed the 150.
Oh, not to exceed the 150?
Yeah, including the freestanding sign.
Oh, really? Okay.
This is a 25,000 square foot building?
Under 24, I believe it's 24,900. Yes, 25.
150 square foot of sign for 25,000 square foot building.
I mean, I'm actually doing the math. If you took that,
That's not a lot.
if you took his size of his building and you put 2,500 square foot units in there, you could put up to 1,470 square foot of signage on that property legally in each space that a tenant occupied. And to top it off, he is correct. He turned the building and saved the tree in the middle of the lot, so which reduces his ability to have signage. So, because it's not faced forward towards the street, you know? So I agree with him 100%. He's got some headwinds.
Another question, speaking of the tree, what about the other smaller oak trees that are in the parking lot? What do you plan to do with them?
That's a good question. If you look at them, quite a few are fairly gnarly. Our intention is to try to trim them up and save them. But if we were to take them down, my understanding is we'd have to replace them.
I saw some did look dead, some look like you've trimmed them already.
We have not.
Okay, somebody did. Okay. Mr. Caldwell, what's the city's position on the pictures, like the picture of the bowling pin? Is that considered a sign also? Artwork is considered a sign?
It's artistic in nature, but we do consider it a sign.
Even though it doesn't have a word?
The logo for the company is the Woody, it seems to me, and it's in the freestanding sign, so yes, we would count it as a building mounted signage if it repeats itself on the building.
You would include it in what?
In the building mounted square footage
Okay.
allowed?
So what about the bowling pin and the,
Well, there's bowling on site, there's drinks on site, and there's golf on site, so we would count them all.
okay.
If it was like a beach scene painted on the side of the building, we wouldn't consider that signage because it doesn't have anything directly to do with the business.
That's what I was wondering, if they, what do you call it? When they have, I can't think of what the word is when they have it painted on the sides of the buildings.
Mural?
Murals, yes, murals, thank you. Having one of your, yeah, we're losing.
Are you guys, is city council exploring this for any future? Because I mean, some of these buildings are big in nature, and 150 square foot sign is not big for a building of that size.
You're right, you're right. If you look at the side elevation of the building, it doesn't look like a lot of signage on that building.
Yeah.
It doesn't on the front either.
Right.
Mr. Chairman and I were discussing that same thing today earlier about possibly looking at increasing the size of the signage based upon the size of the building.
Sure. I mean, you almost want it to be proportionate to the building anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's common sense.
yeah, absolutely.
And I think you've mentioned it in the past as far as the, not a variance,
A special exemption?
special exception.
Exception, yeah, special exception, yeah.
Mr. Caldwell, is that something, Mr. Caldwell, Mr. Norrie, is that something we could look at for, because we're ending up with, like we've got, this could have been a 2,000 square foot or a 1,000 square foot building, and they get 150. You got a 24,000 square foot building, that we want to be successful in our community. Is there something we could look at to,
We can certainly talk about it.
yeah?
Yeah.
Then we get guidance from, like you said, Mr. Boax is throwing out there how many square footage, the square footage they have in comparison, we find a reasonable amount. Like, I feel like this is as reasonable you could do with signage. It's not overloaded, it's a big building, and they want to bring people in, right? Okay,
I don't have an issue with it.
yeah. Any other questions for the applicant? Any questions for the city? Is there anyone that wants to speak on this issue? Is someone prepared to make a motion?
Before somebody makes a motion, I would like to say that, I think you all are right in what you're saying about the ratio of the signage to the size of the building. And I agree with, where y'all are going with that. And whoever makes a motion, I would like you to include as part of the motion, if you were to make a motion to approve it, that they be required to leave the existing trees in the parking lot that are alive and well.
Okay.
As part of the motion. So that could be a condition. We can put conditions on variances when we make motions and when we approve them. And I would like to see that be a condition of any variance that we approve, that the existing viable trees that are already in the parking lot be required to leave there. And
Could I ask a question? I should have taken a better look at them this morning while I was there, but when you say live and well, can there be some kind of process of replacement?
Yes.
Talking about the ones you were talking about that are probably dead, and the arborist can tell if they're dead. I think you're working out with the city. Why don't you make the motion, because we can replace, then you can tell them what you want to replace from those trees if they are dead.
Well, they have to, how much landscaping do they have to have on that property?
After one tree per 25 linear feet around the perimeter, one tree in every end island of a parking space bank, and one shrub for every 10 linear feet.
I mean, I'm not sure how I would word that. That's why I was asking whoever's going to make the
Right.
motion to do it, because. the
There
ones
are
that-
existing trees on the site, and some of them were slated to be saved, but I believe the reorientation of some of the parking lot doesn't allow for all of them to be saved.
I'm sure he's probably going to meet whatever,
Get them to meet the requirement,
Yeah.
particularly if it's dead,
For
we
sure.
can pivot and, work with the city to meet those requirements.
Or to say that the existing trees that are left the inches would be contributed to the total trees that have to be on the site, or some, I mean,
They
to any
would,
landscaping
they would
plan,
count towards the
they would count
total
towards it.
caliper inch requirement.
I would definitely just make sure you include the tree that they rearranged the building for. I mean, that's amazing. That's a beautiful tree sitting. in the
Right, yeah, it
property.
is.
Yeah, yeah. So
It
that's
is.
one that you
And I
definitely-
appreciate that he wanted to save it, and, yeah.
And I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Caldwell, but I believe there's already a planting plan associated with the project.
There is.
So I think there's requirements within that plan
Yes.
that if something's removed, it's replaced.
Yes, the old business that was on that property didn't have very good landscaping, but they did have they had one nice tree, and then some smaller plants, and they didn't meet our minimum standards, but the new plan does.
Okay.
Ms. Lover?
I'll wing this one. I'll make a motion, we approve variance V 25-42 to allow the applicant to have the 756 square feet of requested signage, based on there being a hardship that the property is very large and the building itself is very large. And the permitted signage under the ordinance does not take into consideration the large size of the building and the large plot of land, that I believe it should be more, the ratio should be better for the signage to the size of the building. And that also they have agreed to save the large oak tree that is there, which has also created a hardship with them on the placement of the building on the property, and it's being able to be seen by people traveling up and down Highway 17. So I would make a motion that the variance be granted, and with a stipulation that existing trees that are deemed to be alive and well must be retained, and they can be counted towards his landscape requirements, the landscape requirement that's already in place.
Great, thank you, Ms. Lover. We've got a motion by Ms. Lover, do we have a second?
Second.
Got a second by Mr. Bell. Any discussion? Those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. All right. We're going to go to the next item on the agenda. We've got item number 5, BZA 25-44, an application by Derek DePonte for a variance to place or have constructed a metal building that exceeds the allowance for a freestanding garage at 1502 26th Avenue North, zone low density, single-family residential in the R1 district.
Sir, we skip one.
Oh, gosh. Thanks, thank you. Apologize for that. Item number 4, we have BZA 25-43. We have an application by Robert Bays for a variance to place a storage building in one of the 2 front yards at 2410 Douglas Street, zone mobile manufactured in the home residential R3 district. Mr. Bays?
Yes, thank
Hello.
you, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I guess you guys count my house as a double front. since it runs between Douglas Street and Bryant Street. So the back, what I call the backyard, is a fenced-in backyard. And there was an existing shed when I was purchasing the home that was falling apart. It was rotting, the roof was caving in on it, so we took it out. And I want to put a new shed back in there so I can, and behind the fence, the existing fence that's already there. So I'm asking for a variance to be able to put a portable building in the backyard. What I call the backyard, on the Bryant Street side.
Okay.
Behind the fence.
Great, thank you. Any questions?
So your hardship is you have two front streets, right?
Yes.
I got you. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. Any other questions for Mr. Bay? Give us a second, we're going to hear from the city. We'll be back to you.
Petitioner Robert Bays has submitted an application for a variance to place a storage building in one of the required front yards at 2410 Douglas Street. The petitioner would like to place a storage building in the yard closest to Bryan Street. The ordinance requires an accessory structure to be behind the setback line for double frontage lots. The petitioner is asking for the building to be closer than the 20-foot setback requirement.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Caldwell. Any questions for Ms. Caldwell or the city? Make sure we got. Any questions for the applicant? Any questions? Does anybody want to make a comment from on this issue? Great, thank you.
Maybe just to explain to the folks in the audience that, so maybe that's not clear that they understand what we're talking about. If you all are interested, that when you have a lot and it has a street behind it and a street in front of it, you don't have a backyard under the ordinance, so you have two front yards. And when you can only have certain things like swimming pools and sheds and garages and backyards, so they have to get a variance because they only have two front yards technically. So the applicant has two front yards, that's his hardship. And okay,
Thank you.
so that's what we're considering.
Great. Any other questions? And Ms. Lover, thank you for explaining that to the audience. Any other questions? Any other discussions?
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman, if that's okay.
Yes, Mr. Bell.
I move that the board grant variance 25-43 because the applicant has demonstrated unnecessary hardship. Specifically, there are extraordinary and exceptional conditions pertaining to this particular piece of property, given the fact that it has two front yards. These conditions, they do apply to the other properties in the vicinity. Because of these conditions, the application of the ordinance to the particular piece of property would effectively prohibit or unreasonably restrict the utilization of the property. The authorization of the variance would not be a substantial detriment to adjacent properties or to the public good, given the fact there's already a structure on that side of the street as well, on the house next to them, and wouldn't be harmed by the granting of the variance.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Bell. Do we have a second? I have a second from Ms. Wobler. Any other discussions? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Great, thank you. All right, we'll try this one again. Item number 5, we got BZA 25-44, application by Derek DePonte for a variance to place or have constructed a metal building that exceeds allowance for a freestanding garage at 1502 26th Avenue North, zone low density, single-family residential in the R1 district. Mr. DePonte?
Hi, everybody.
Hey, how about introducing yourself for the record and tell us your story?
All right, my name is Derek DuPont. My story is I basically bought a double lot up on 26th Avenue. I put my house on the left lot, thinking that I'd be able to put a garage on the right side. I went to Mr. Burton. I had him draw me up building plans for that other lot to put a building on. I was under the impression that it was a 960 square foot building I could put up there. I guess it came down to it's 30%, I guess, of the gross living space if it's over 625 feet. So basically what my hardship is, we're basically outdoor people all the time. As you can tell by my property, we have 2 outdoor campers. I have 2 boats underneath my house. I have no privacy underneath the house, like sound deadening from the road or anything else, and I have no place to store the stuff that I have. So I guess I'm allowed to have a 25 by 25. So my variance, what I'm looking for is to be able to put a 30 by 30, 5-foot deep or 5-foot wider metal building in, so I can put all my equipment inside of it and give me a little buffer from the road up on Little River Neck Road. I do have plenty of setbacks in the property. I've got tons of room. It's a double lot.
You've got a double lot, so it's a
Yeah.
pretty big piece of property.
Yeah, I'm just a homeowner. I'm sure I'm out of place with what I'm trying to say, but that's what I'm looking for. I don't have no experience with this. My first time ever being in one of these.
Okay.
So, yeah, any questions you have, I'll be happy to try to answer them. But I thought I was doing everything the right way. I went, had it surveyed, had everything done for me. And then when I applied, they told me there was 900 if I have basically a 2,700 square foot house. My house is only 1,900 square foot. So it's limited to 625 square feet of garage space, which is a 25 by 25, and I'm looking to construct a 30 by 30.
Do you own a business of any kind?
No,
Okay, so you would not be using this for any.
No,
if you
no,
were to
no, this
approve
is-
it,
if
You
you
would not
look at-
use it for any business purpose?
no businesses at all. No. It's just going to be to put my two little camper trailers in and my two boats that are underneath my house now, because I have no living space under the house now because I store my boats underneath there.
And you would be not using it for any type of living, like an
Oh,
apartment?
no,
or-
absolutely not. It's just to store it's basically to clean up the yard. I just don't like having all the, because we're right on River Neck Road, there's a lot of people going by it, and just the sound. I feel the building might be able to deaden some of the sound coming in, give us, as you can see, that side's my exposed side of the house in the basement underneath the house. I know it's not the typical way to do it, but I don't know how else to explain what I'm looking for.
Your house is currently how many square feet?
It's somewhere around 1,900 square foot.
That, just.
That's up in-
That's living area that
Cor-
you live in?
I think heated living, they said is like 1,600. They count I'm counting the decks and all. Because the foundation is 36 by 44, I think.
So just out of curiosity, if you had closed in the underneath of the house, you'd have a two-story house, how much living space would you have?
Oh, I'd be at 3,600, 3,700, somewhere in that area. Yeah, it would double.
Is there any other questions for the applicant?
One more. If we were to approve it, would it interfere with that tree that's on your property to the right?
Not
of
at
the
all.
campus?
I wasn't sure if you guys came over or not, but I did stake out the property. So right where my red truck is in the picture, I'm like, you guys can see that video too? Very front corner, it's going to be 15 feet off where the front corner of the house is. I want it being even with the front of the house. That gives me all the setbacks and from the front and the back. And it's going to go back. The house is 44 feet deep. It'll go between that side window and where the back decking starts. It'll end there and come out to not even where the black utility trailer is. I still have like 25 feet before I get to where that tree is, that big existing tree. Yeah, there'd be no property change, no trees coming down.
My
Nothing.
other concern when I went and looked at it was aesthetics. You built a pretty new house.
Correct.
I think a metal building would look like a industrial building there.
It's going to be two-toned, like the way the house is now with the black underneath. We're doing a black wainscoting on the bottom of it, white on top, black roof. So it's going to basically mimic what the house shows.
That's not going to look
And
like
it's
a
gonna-
big, if we granted the variance, it wouldn't look like a big ugly industrial building, like a warehouse sitting right there in that residential neighborhood.
No, I'm doing a regular peaked roof to it. It won't be like a flat, like a regular commercial building. It's a regular peaked roof on and everything else.
Do you have a drawing of what you
I
think it's
don't
gonna look
have a
like?
drawing with me, but I do have it on my phone.
Okay.
Can I approach you?
Yeah,
What's that?
projector right here around the corner.
Huh? Yeah, I'm gonna try to get it up now for you. What are they doing? The picture here. We got so many pictures in here now. Karen, do you have one on your phone quicker? The black?
I have it, it's not the right colors. I'm Karen, Derek's wife. So it doesn't have the right colors, but
Yeah, that's the same builder.
you see, it's black, so you can't really see it.
Yeah, it'll be black on the bottom wainscot, so it'll be up like 4 feet black, then it'll be white, the rest of the walls, black trim around the door, white doors, white side door like that one, and then the top will be just a black roof. So it'll pretty much mimic what the house colors look like.
It's just not
Going to
gonna
have 3 garage doors?
No, it's only two, I don't know what's that from?
I don't know.
That's the permit that you.
That
Well,
was one
that was the
denied.
original one that they said no to, that was the 960 square foot one.
That was the
And
one
then
that was denied.
there should be one that we drew onto it, but Bert and I can go back to Harry to draw the other piece onto it. Should have been a double one, and that's it. It's a 900 square foot. That house, that building there was a 960, because that was my original impression, that I was able to do 960. But then I resubmitted, where's the paper, Karen? There should have been another one with a 30 by 30 garage submitted.
Oh, so you don't want to build 960, you want to build 900 now?
Yeah, oh, if I can do nights, I'll do that too. Nothing has been purchased, I'm just looking for the permit before I start ordering what the pieces that I need. So, yeah, if I can do a 960, it would be 24 feet deep. That's what Harry Burton did design for it, for the lot, on all the original setbacks. But then I was told the max in North Myrtle Beach is 900 if I had a 2,700 square foot house. I heard that's what the biggest that you guys allow is 900.
Right.
So a 960 would be even above and beyond. Because that's ideally would have been a 3, but that's when he said, oh, no, you can't do it. The max is 900 if it's 30% of your gross living space. So that's why I put the variance in, trying to get the extra 5-foot depth to do a 30 by 30 to give you the 9. Because the 4 things that I'm looking to fit won't fit in a 25 by 25. I just physically can't get the stuff inside. But a 30 by 30, I can get those 4 pieces of equipment inside.
But if it's attached to the home, is there a square footage?
It's an addition.
It's an addition. Is there a way you can attach it to the house with a breezeway or, I mean, something?
I just think that's going to be more detrimental to the looks of the property. I don't want to really change that. I know it's not making much sense to you guys. I just didn't want, because if I do that, now it's an additional cost getting into it. I just bought the house, that's less than a year and a half ago I built the house. So I'm just trying to do something to give me some storage. Because didn't think about when I built the stilt house, thinking, you don't have a garage now. Everybody else has garages in my neighborhood. I don't have a garage, so everything is outside. My grills, everything are outside. So that's the only reason.
Yeah, it would definitely cost more if you attached it to the house.
No, I know that, yeah, I get it. But it takes away that.
It takes away
That's gone. It just disappears.
Yeah, you don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, you have to deal with that, yeah.
Okay. Any other questions for the applicant or the city?
Yeah, please feel free if you have something. I'm here to
And I-
answer as best as I can for anybody.
Yeah, and I want to go back on Miss Lover, and actually 2 points. Miss Lover's point about, let's make sure it looks beautiful. I mean, your house looks great. Came out good. It really
Thank
looks
you.
good. But we want to make sure that we put it in here. We don't want it to look like a.
No.
Aesthetic-wise,
No. Aesthetically, I want it to match the house, to look like it's uniform to it, and uniform to Salt Lake. So that's why I did with the wainscot, to match the black on the bottom, the white up top, you know. Yeah, it's not going to look like a flat roof, commercial, ugly building. And it's not used for commercial businesses, just for my storage, residential.
Yeah.
Because I don't have the garage.
I would like it to look more like, I know, I'm talking about money for you, but I would like it to look more like a stick-built building, like a residential garage, and less like an industrial garage.
Yep.
Because it's right there on the road, and
Sure.
everybody's going to buy it, is going to see it, and
Sure.
we don't want to, this is a residential neighborhood, so we don't want to cause any detriment to property values, and people thinking, oh, this is, this is an industrial warehouse sort of thing.
Have you priced it being stick-built?
Oh, it's 4 times the price.
It is?
Yeah, I talked to my builder, it's like 4 times the price. Yeah, the price, and like I said, even when I built my house, they were getting up to, between $280 and $300 a square foot.
$300 a square foot.
Yeah, construction hasn't, COVID put it up there, and it's tough to bring it back down again. They're still using the supply side of it.
Yeah, because I agree with Ms. Lober. I think aesthetically it'd look a lot better, even if you didn't attach it to do it stick-built. But you're right, it'll definitely cost more. It's not, it's your money, not my money. So.
Yeah. Like,
Can they put windows on the side of it, on the
I
right
do
side
have
of it?
windows. There's windows in it. Yeah.
I think that would make it look less industrial.
Yeah, there'll be windows on it, regular windows. It's going to be a regular 9-light, regular residential door. Yeah, but I'm not using like the metal doors. It'll be a regular door, 9 lights on top, regular framed in, regular house door on it.
The windows along the street side?
I can put one on that side if you like. Well, I have them on the other side now. Because I don't like being towards the street side. It's just an ease, it's another way of people getting into it, and I want to be able to see that side of the building. So I do have it designed right now just to be the window towards my side.
I mean, I feel like you have a lot of room.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot. So
You have a lot of room there for it, and
Yeah.
a 600 square foot one seems small.
Correct.
In light of how much room that you have, proportionately.
Like I said, we are not opposed to it. Like I said, we're trying to figure if we can get this first, because we probably will request a fence in the very near future. I'm not sure if that's something that will help you. On the River Neck side, Little Neck Road there, I plan on putting a fence in. I'm going to propose that at a building sometime, if I get okayed for the garage.
I've got a question for the city. What's your thoughts on this? You know, we've got a house lot, and then we have a whole nother lot. What's your thought? We want to make sure aesthetically. I think that's the biggest one for me, is the aesthetic. You know, you've got two lots.
Well, to be honest, with you, aesthetically, I think the longer would be actually even nicer. With the 3 garage, it really sets it apart. But I said, but right now, I'm going I was going for the bare minimum of the 900, which I know is allowed for North Myrtle Beach. I know for me, it doesn't have, because I don't, like I said, if I had a 2,700-foot house, the way I understood it, there'd be no issue. I wouldn't need this variance, because it would be 30% of my gross living space. You know, that's my thing.
Well, let me hear, I'd like to hear from the city, their take on it,
Okay.
you know, so to Mr. Bell's comment, or Ms. Lover's comment about, we want to make sure it looks great for
Sure.
for the rest of the residents that are on those streets.
I mean, I'm just thinking about it from the fact that if his underneath of his house was closed in, then he could have, if the underneath of his house closed in, it'd be 3,200, he could have 30%, he could have a 900 square foot
Right.
thing, you know, garage, but.
Any thoughts from the city?
And while you're talking,
Sure.
thinking, Ben,
Oh.
if we did grant the variance, his structure, would he have to get that approved by you guys, what he puts there, the aesthetics, the colors? No.
But we could,
So he
we
could put up,
could put
No,
that.
we can put it in our variance, that it has to be, have so many windows, how many doors, how,
Okay.
color, paint, whatever, we can put that in the variance, or landscaping, or,
Okay.
you know.
Any thoughts? Mr. Norrie, Mr. Caldwell, Mr. Elton?
Gutters, yeah.
Shutter's a great idea. Yep.
Yeah, I think that.
I was going to say, you asked for the city's perspective. The neighbor has a property fence that goes all the way down to here. So coming down Little River Neck Road, you're not going to see the building. Coming the other way, the other direction, the doors will be here,
Correct.
the overhead doors. The man door is on this side?
Correct. Yep.
And then, so if you were to put a window with shutters here maybe.
Yes.
That would be visible from most directions. The building's not going to be visible from this direction until you get to right here.
Right.
If you're coming from this way. Not going to be visible on the backside because of the neighbor's privacy fence that runs all the way.
And
But
just
again,
one thing, on this drawing here, this is the original one I had Mr. Burton draw. This is actually the 24 by 40, which is a 960 square foot garage. This is the one that has the 3 garage doors in the front. This is a 3 garage door that this gentleman showed. No, I was asking for a 30 by 30. That's why when we put the permit in, actually, when we put in for the variance, we had a different drawing of a 30 by 30. This was the original with going in, and they said, no, you can't do 960. So then when we put it in, we did it was for the maximum that North Myrtle Beach allows if I had the proper living space.
So for clarification, the structure that you want to put there is accurately represented by the photograph that your wife has.
Correct.
Well, we'd love to have the bigger one, but we were told we couldn't. But, so we went with this one. It's kind of hard to see because it's black.
And I'll give you a thought of, on this, you know, if we make a motion and we make it so that the zoning, make sure that the aesthetics look good and add the windows, the doors, the shutters, I think it really, color scheme, I think it needs to be satisfactory or they can come back to us. So I think we can make a motion that it either works for the city, for staff, or they'd have to come on back to us. I think they're going to have to get it approved through staff, making sure that it has an upgraded appearance. I think you made a point, whoever made the point about the window, you really like that window on the street side. And the fence, let me ask you a question. If he said, hey, I wanted to put a fence, then it hides it a little more. But if aesthetically it looks good, and we can get it to blend and it looks good, staff's happy, I think we can be happy.
Yeah, I don't have a problem putting a fence up if that's a stipulation. I have no problem with that. But it's a very busy road, and I have my grandchildren over. I'd be happy to put, like I said, that is part of our plan to put a fence up just on the River Neck Road side, because it is such a main road.
The picture you showed of the metal building just now, that was a black building. Your house is white. Do you plan
Yeah,
on-
that's not the proper one. No, it's going to be black wainscoting on the bottom and then white on top.
How many feet up would be black?
Probably 4 feet wainscoting, I think is what they quoted me. I think it was 4 feet.
Yeah, I think give the city the ability to approve what they're planning on doing. I think we've got a good understanding of, I think they've got a good understanding of how we want to upgrade this and give it a good look.
I mean, I would like to say the 4-foot wainscoting is good, everything white above 4 feet, at least 2 windows on the Little River Neck Road side with shutters, contrasting shutters that would go with his house. Landscaping, oleander, crepe myrtles, ligustrum, something that would sort of,
But looks like there's already a window, if you look at that picture they got there.
Yeah, on the left side, I think.
Yeah.
that's on the house side. I want-
No,
Two on the other side.
That's on the other side.
Oh, I see, you're looking through the garage.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to see more than one, though.
Yeah, go to 2 with shutters.
Yeah, 2, and the building up there's going to be white on that portion, then with the black shutters that match the house.
Yeah, the house doesn't have any shutters on it now.
Okay.
We went just with the black hurricane shutter on the front window, just to add accent.
Okay.
We're going to want shutters on this because
Okay, that's fine.
it'll give it a little more upgraded. It'll take your eyes off of the metal building side.
Sure, that's not a
Okay.
problem.
Very good. Any other questions?
Limited to 30 by 30, 900 feet, not the
good.
960.
What's the hardship? What's the hardship?
The proportionate size of the lot to the,
Yeah, it's an irregular shaped lot too, if you look at where the plot line goes in.
It is a regular shaped lot. And would the, underneath the building constitute living space, even though it's not heated? I mean, do you count the garage as?
We wouldn't count the
You wouldn't count
outdoor
that.
areas, the porches, the underneath the house.
Okay, gotcha.
And everything that you have that you're talking about underneath the house and in the side yard is going to fit in this building?
Yes, the 4 vehicles will fit, the 2 boats and then the 2 camping trailers.
I mean, we do want to get, that is an issue throughout North Myrtle Beach, is the campers and the trailers. And so we do want to promote people,
To cover those, yeah. but
Yeah.
They are size.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you, I totally agree. That was,
like people put them behind the front line of the house, and a lot of people don't like doing that, and
yeah.
but we had one similar to this down Little River Neck Road. I don't know if you were here then or not. There's a guy built a monster garage, but he had a huge piece of land. He had like 5 acres of land and
That one.
you remember that one?
Yes, you do.
So we sort of found his hardship was that the proportionate, what, you know,
I got it, yeah, I just curious.
yeah.
There was another property before the board.
Did. It was up at Cherry Grove. Was. I think that's why we looked at this, and you have it's 2 lots, right? So, all right, is anyone prepared to make a motion?
I'll make a motion. I move that the board grant variance V 25-44 because the applicant has demonstrated unnecessary hardship. There are extraordinary and exceptional conditions pertaining to this piece of property. The irregular shape of the lot and the oversized large lot that in condition with the size of the home. These conditions do not generally apply to the other properties in the vicinity. Because of these conditions, the application of the ordinance to a particular piece of property would effectively prohibit or unreasonably restrict the utilization of the property. The authorization of the variance would not be of substantial detriment to the adjacent properties or to the public good, and the character of the district would not be harmed. Additional conditions, we'd want the metal building that you've shown to kind of be upgraded appearance-wise, appropriate landscaping, The color scheme would need to match the existing home, and we would want the city to have final approval on that. And any issues that might arise, I guess you could bring it back in front of the board if there are any questions.
I would add just at least 2 windows on the Little River Neck side with shutters, no more than 4 feet of black at the bottom. The rest of the building above 4 feet would have to match the color of the house. And the tree to the right of the garage, proposed location, would have to remain. Be my additions to his motion.
Good, thank you.
And we're only going for the 900 square foot building, not the, did you say the 900?
900 square
Okay,
feet.
not 960.
Thank you, Mr. Reeves and Ms. Lover for the additions. Is there somebody prepared to make a second?
Second.
Good, we've got a second, and I did want to add one thing was, we do want to make a condition upon the city meeting those requirements. If not, you have to come on back to us. If the city's satisfied, then you won't have to come back to this board.
So basically, when they get the architectural drawing, just submit it to the city?
City
for
and show them
approval?
with the shutters.
scheme.
Color scheme, give them the whole package, and
Yep.
if they approve it, move forward. If not, we'll come on back to us.
Okay.
Great. Do
Appreciate
we-
everybody's time, thank you.
Yep, thank you. Is there, do we have a second?
Second.
Good, we got a second out of Mr. Wise. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Great, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
We've got item number 6, BZA 25-45. We got an application by Michelle Barney for a variance to remove a protected trees at 1232 Crooked Hook Road. Ms. Barney? Or is there someone here to speak on that?
Good, yeah, yeah. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we postpone BZA 25-45. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were here for, I'm sorry.
Beverly Homes? Yes. I did not.
Wait, I'm sorry, where was that at? Would you,
Beverly Homes.
Beverly Hills, okay.
This is not Michelle, but
Yeah,
Are you
another person.
Representing Michelle
representing
Barney.
He said he's here for Beverly Homes, and Michelle Barney's Beverly Homes.
Is she? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what it says if you read it.
Oh, so, I mean, yeah. But
It is.
yeah.
yeah, that's what I was trying to
okay.
pull that up. And it's Beverly, because it's,
It's just,
These 2 are Beverly Homes.
yeah, they are.
I thought it was
These 2 of them?
Del Webb.
Yeah. You go back through Del Webb, and when you cross
go
the
all the way
road,
through,
almost,
right?
yeah. And it says,
Trying to find it.
Who is Michelle Barney?
Michelle's not here.
Okay.
This gentleman is here.
I apologize.
Yeah, we're trying to,
I'm not aware who that is.
We're on number 8.
Okay.
yeah, I'm trying to find, oh, there it is. Is this the one we're looking for? Yep. Great. I had to dig through and find it, this big packet. And if you can come on up and introduce yourself for the record with the microphone, and tell us what you've got going on.
I'm Scott Davis, representing Beverly Homes. We've got 2 separate requests to take out some trees. This is the first one on Crooked Hook. There are 2 cedar trees that are in the parking lot of what will be our future amenity center with a pool. With all the requirements for parking lot, and there's a mailbox kiosk is what's off to the left, sidewalks and whatnot, pool house and a pool itself. Just asking to take those 2 trees out, 'cause they will be in the parking lot.
so, went out there and looked, saw 3 great big trees in the middle of this great big field. Didn't notice 2 cedar trees. I thought, where the sign was, I thought you were wanting to take out the big tree.
Now, the big trees in the middle will stay. It's the trees on the waterway side of that little island, in between the roads.
What's the lot number?
It is the open space.
I wish I brought my phone in, because I took pictures of it, both sides. Did y'all go out there and look at them?
I couldn't find them. I wrote it there, and it took me to the address, but I couldn't figure out where that we were talking about.
Well, I drove around and saw the BZA signs, but,
I couldn't find that.
so, Like at this picture. We've got pictures here of big trees, but I don't see any pictures here of cedar trees.
I
All I saw was
said
the big trees in
cedar,
the
I
middle
said
of the
cedar,
Sorry, thank you. I'll work with it.
I'm sorry, she wrote 2 trees, I'm not sure what kind they are. The other one is sycamore.
The one was a big sycamore, but she wrote poplar trees. So that's why you're saying cedar trees. I didn't
I
see any
said cedar, that was
trees.
my fault, I misspoke.
Brackish Bay was a sycamore.
That's right.
Yeah, but when you go out there, all it's bare is a big tree.
The very center of that area, there, around the top of lot 42, there is a group of trees that we're not touching. These are, I don't know if you happen to notice that dumpster that was there, is right beside the dumpster. The houses on, close to the houses on the waterway.
It's not on the waterway side,
No, it's on that, in that little island
in the middle,
in the
surrounded by the
middle,
road.
but it's close to the road on that, closer to the road than in the very center of that island.
Because all I saw was big trees that looked healthy. And my concern was, I think you all had been to us before you cleared that off, and I was wondering, weren't these trees protected from the beginning, and why are you coming here wanting to cut them down now?
That was an open space, and the engineer just drew up the pool after the neighborhood was developed, and that's to meet all the parameters for stormwater and everything, parking lot size, number of parks, sidewalks and whatnot.
I'll ask the city when we get to the city part of it.
Great. Any other questions for the applicant? Give us a second. We'll hear from, did you introduce yourself for the record?
Scott Davis.
Great, thanks. We're going to hear from the city, and we'll be back with you. Okay, thank you.
Petitioner Michelle Barney has submitted an application to remove 2 trees in excess of 24 caliper inches at 1232 Crooked Hook Road. The trees in question are 2 27-inch poplars. Trees exceeding 24 caliper inches shall only be removed upon approval by the board. The board is charged with setting a suitable tree replacement schedule. City Council has also approved a tree bank where individuals can pay $300 per caliper inch of required planting. Staff recommends that the board review the variance application, hear the evidence presented at the meeting, and review section 2368.
Thank you, Mr. Colwell. I rode out there, could not find it. I circled around and looked for the sign. I must have missed it, because there's not a lot of trees out there.
There's only 3 great big trees in the middle of that island. I mean, and one of them, they built a foundation right up beside the sycamore, and then the other ones,
I guess the question is realistically for the city, they would have had to have an amenity center before they even started the development, right?
There wasn't a requirement for amenities center in this development, but they decided to provide one.
So they didn't have, there wasn't a requirement for them to have one.
No, it's not a PDD, it's straight zoning, they just are providing one.
So they want to provide one.
They want to, yes.
so have they been here before?
Yes, ma'am,
Okay.
for tree removal.
Uh-huh.
They thought they got all the ones they think they need to remove the first time, but these 2 have come up.
Because they want to add an amenity center.
Yes, sir.
But these would have been required, they knew they were protected from the very beginning.
It may have been something about the location shown on the plans that would have allowed them to maybe keep the trees and still put the amenity center in. And I think once they get into really tightening up their development plans, it ends up shifting some.
Because, I mean, these just look like big, healthy trees. I'm not sure. I just feel like they come before us multiple times and talk about protected trees, and we give a lot of thought to it, and what are we going to let them cut down, and what are we not going to let them cut down, and then they come back and want another bite. So,
I agree. You know, we understand that you want a amenity center, but it'd be nice, we're saving, there's no trees out there, and we want to save what we can, just trying to be, responsible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all flat. I don't see, there's none of this stuff about, there's easements and there's grades and all this. It's flat and the trees are there, and they're the only ones left. So I don't, when I got there, that was my question, is didn't we already rule on this once? Why are we coming back and doing this again?
That's, yeah. They want, the,
Reason why is because they want an amenity center, right?
one of the minis there, but.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is there a way that we can save these trees, because right now, to be quite frank, if we knew we were gonna have a mini center, we would feel better about it, because then we can help plan, and you guys can plan, and, because you go out there, there's not a lot of trees, and you saw when we had the alley-oops, we're trying to work with people to work with reasonable efforts to preserve trees.
So, Mr. Caldwell, is it possible for us to offer them a variance on their parking and let them reapply so they can save the trees?
If you wanted them to do that, they would have to reapply, and we'd have to re-advertise, and they could come back next month.
Let's do that.
Let's do that. Are you okay with that, Ms. Lover? Let them
Yeah.
Yeah,
variance on the parking so they can save the trees?
yes.
Actually, come to think of it, we don't have a parking requirement for amenity centers. We tell people, you put in what you think you'll need. And so if you wanted to reduce what they have on their plans, you could,
I mean, most people in the neighborhood.
We wouldn't need an
they could
action
walk
to
the
do
amenity
that.
center. I mean, realistically.
I mean-
Yeah, or a golf cart. Most people have golf carts and they golf cart over there. Yeah, I mean,
we wouldn't have to, you guys wouldn't have to make any decisions if you wanted them to reduce the number of spaces they have provided at their amenity center.
okay,
They could do that on their own.
okay.
I think, Mr. Bell, I think it'd be good for you all to go back to the city, we go and postpone this, come up with a reasonable solution to try to save these trees. And if we come back, we want you to do an amenity center, it's why people want to come here and live, we understand that. But at the same token, as we're trying to save trees where we can, this looks like something that you can.
About how many parking lots do you have there, parking spaces are there in your plan? Just out of curiosity.
Okay, that goes for tails.
Shows that.
7 total, 1 handicap, 6 normal.
7 total parking spaces?
That's right.
And if the tree stayed, I guess it'd be obviously less than that.
That's right. The parking spaces are facing down on the picture. So the way it's drawn now, the tree would interfere with being able to get into a park.
The one space? It would just interfere with being able to get into one space or
Excuse me?
the keeping the tree would interfere with getting into one space? Is that what you're saying?
Probably a couple. Probably have
2 or 3?
2 or 3 on one side and 2 or 3 on another. Without looking at it, without, drawing.
Ms. Lover, are we trying to save the cedar as well?
I didn't even see a cedar. That's what,
I
I'm
just
just seeing.
misspoke on that.
Okay. Oh, I'm looking at another, this would be
No,
the
I mean, you're
the
looking
next
at this
one.
picture, there's a cedar on this picture, but if you drive out there, all that's out there is like, there's a big tree over here all by itself, there's a couple of big trees here, and there's another big tree by itself, so I think the one of them is the sycamore beside the foundation, I think that's the next
That's what it
one.
is. There's a 8-inch cedar in the middle of the cluster of 2 trees. That's what it was.
Okay, so if you can't really take the cedar out without taking the poplars out, really?
That's right.
I think if,
Personally, I'd like to continue it and have you come back with an actual drawing, and, or figure out a way to put your driveway in another position where you can save those few remaining trees, because y'all have been here before. We've already gone through this about what trees you have to save, and then you come back and want us to let you cut those down, the few lone trees that are still out there. It's just astounding to me that,
Kelvin's pulled up the drawings for the amenity center. He's gonna put those on the camera, you can
Okay.
see what's proposed in
really
that
good,
area.
because I didn't see it, so that's what, we just want to save, I did see that there weren't many trees at all on the whole property. Let's see this thing here.
So on the opposite side of the parking spaces is where the tree is. They might be able to pull in the driveway a little bit more towards the bottom of the screen.
so okay, I'm looking, show me, can you point to where the tree is on this picture? Where those poplar trees are on this picture?
It's about where the where it says parking spaces and ADA,
Okay.
around there.
I still don't know where they're
But
at.
it doesn't inhibit a parking space, it just maybe would inhibit you getting into it.
Well, it can probably be flipped too, with little effort, and have a blank space covered, or contained with curbing around the tree.
Yeah, like a little island,
Little
a tree island.
Yeah.
Yeah, and protect those roots.
You mind pointing on the map down there where it will be, just so everybody sees
We can
it?
understand where that tree is.
I just think you can find a way to rearrange your parking spaces, make that a little tree island area. Put curbing, like Mr. Caldwell said, put some curbing around it, protect the roots.
Will they be able to pull in there?
Because the driveway's all the way
Yes.
down here.
Okay.
See where the handicap space is also? That can be shifted to the right. And you could
there's
probably pick
added
up two
parking
spaces over there.
There's, these are the mail kiosks. Where it says picnic tables, there'll actually be mail kiosks there.
What were you thinking?
Yeah,
Mr.
they can
What were you
park where the
thinking?
tables are.
Again, Mr. Caldwell, what were you thinking?
To the right on the screen of the handicap space, you could probably get 2 additional spaces right there next to the handicap and do away with 2 on the end and stop the parking lot earlier, and that may be a way to save them. I think we have to have it located on a plan, show exactly where the trees are, and then we start brainstorming from there.
Well, let's, Mr. Caldwell, is there a way that we can
We could
pass
leave
the
it-
baton on to you all?
We could leave this on the agenda if you choose to, and then we can work with the applicant to see if there's another way to do it, where we
Sounds good.
don't have to come back to you.
Great. I think that's a good plan, and if it doesn't, we don't find a good solution, we'll see you in 30 days. You're still going to need to find a solution. So, okay? Is anybody prepared to make a motion to
We postpone.
postpone?
Make a motion to continue/postpone variance V 25-45 with the hopes the applicant can figure out some way to rearrange their parking, and if they can't, they can come back and ask us for a variance.
Great, thank you, Ms. Lover. Do we have a second?
A second.
Got a second, Mr. Reeves. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Guys have it. All right, we'll go to the next item on the agenda.
On Brackish Bay Road, there's a house and I think it's 27-inch sycamore is 4 feet around from foundation once the house is built.
But again, you knew this tree was protected before you started building that house.
This one.
From where the foundation's right up to it.
Yeah, but they've been here, they knew this tree was protected, and they went ahead and started building a house.
Yep.
Yeah, we got that. Yeah, we got that.
Thank you, Mr. Ray. Sir, if you'll go ahead and introduce yourself for the record, and, my fault.
That's right. Scott Davis, Beverly Homes.
Yep, and I'm sorry, but we're on item number 7, BZA 25-46, application by Michelle Barney for a variance to remove a protected tree at 1200 Brackus Bay Road. And sir, if you could introduce yourself for the record.
Scott Davis.
Thank you, sir. Tell us what we're looking at on this one, if you would.
So this is a pre-sold house, and they kind of picked their own floor plan and whatnot, and then this particular tree is about 48 inches off the foundation, and as you can tell, it's fairly close to the property line as well. So, and it's a corner lot, so there's setbacks on both sides, larger setbacks.
Okay. Any questions for the applicant?
Yeah, were you aware this tree had already been protected in a prior hearing before you put the foundation in?
I was not, my company may have been, but I was not a part of that.
Right?
Sorry.
So, I mean, I just feel like this is a self-imposed problem. You did this to yourself. Not you, Mr. Davis, but Beverly Homes did this to themselves.
I agree with you, Ms. Lover. I feel like them allowing them to pick the house plan that
Yeah.
heads against the tree is,
And they're not that far along. All they did was put the boards in. I don't think they poured footers yet.
Great, and I think we're all on the same page. Any other questions for the applicant? We're going to hear from the city, and we'll be back.
Petitioner Michelle Barney has applied to remove a tree in excess of 24 caliber inches at 1,200 Brackish Bay Road. The tree is a 26-inch sycamore. Trees exceeding 24 caliber inches shall only be removed upon approval by the board. The board is charged with setting a suitable tree replacement schedule. City Council has also approved a tree bank where individuals can pay $300 per caliper inch of required planting. Staff recommends that the board review the variance application, hear the evidence presented at the meeting, and review section 2368.
Thank you, Ms. Caldwell.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for the applicant or for the city? Anyone prepared to make a motion?
I make a motion that we deny variance BZA 25-46 on the grounds that this is a protected tree and any hardship that may exist is self-imposed.
second,
Thank you, Ms. Lubbert. Do we have a second?
second.
Second, Mr. Bell. Any discussion? All those in favor to deny item number 7, BZA 25-46?
Aye.
Any opposed? This been great, thank you. Moving on to the next item on the agenda, we've got item number 8, BZA 25-47, an application by David Rumney for a variance to remove trees at 248 Morrill Drive at Tidewater. Mr. Rumney?
Yes, I'm Mr. Rumney, owner of the property, and I want to thank the board for reviewing my request here. This is a residential property. It's more than 2 acres, rather large for the area. About 3/4 of the lot is wetlands. It's fairly heavily wooded. In fact, our reason for buying this lot was actually because of the trees. So it's really our goal to preserve as many trees as possible. What we've had here is in a submittal for construction of a house and driveway, which would be less than 15% of the total impervious area of the lot. There are 8 trees in particular that were noted in the inspection. And I guess the only thing we can do is go through each of the trees individually here, or excuse me, seven items, 7 trees. And I respectfully would like to go through each of the trees if the board would allow.
You have a map of the trees?
Through each one of the trees.
Okay,
I was just asking. Is that what the question
Pretty
was?
much it.
okay.
We're only, let me just say that we're only reviewing the ones that are 24 inches or larger. So in your application, you're talking about some other trees that I think sort of maybe clouded the issue. Because this board, the city does look at all the other trees that are smaller, but the only ones we need to talk about are the ones that are 24 inches or larger.
Okay, and
Okay.
I believe those are the trees that are all noted in the items here in the inspection, or am I, let's see, 26 inch? Okay, there's number 5.
I was 1 through 6, or 1 through 4? 1
Okay.
through 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, then let's go through 1 through 4.
And I would also say, I went out and looked, I trotted around your property. There's purple ribbons and there's pink ribbons, right? And so I can't tell which ones were which that you wanted to remove.
Yeah, actually, there's a few pink ribbons that indicate where the wetlands is designated. There are also trees with pink ribbons that are actually in an adjacent lot that's not part of. So this particular surveyor used purple tape for all the trees to be removed.
It would have been helpful if you marked the ones you wanted us to consider for the variance request, because I couldn't figure out, some of them I could find, some of them I was like, I don't know.
Should have noted to you that Sam Moore went out for me and actually marked the trees with yellow that were going to be removed. But if you can look at the pictures that I've got, perhaps they can jog your memory of which ones we're referring to. The survey actually numbered the trees, so they have been specifically identified. That may be another way we can identify it here tonight.
Where is the survey?
You have a copy of that? That'd help a lot.
In the
wasn't-
submittal for the permit, there is
Included
a,
in our package. So
okay.
going out there trying to figure
I-
out, and you have lots of trees.
Yes, there are lots of trees. There's over 300 trees.
And so I walked around out there and I'm like, I don't know, which ones he's talking about. I think I found the one on the right corner of the house, and I think I found
Well,
the one in the driveway.
In particular, number one, and there's some pictures. Okay, that's a picture right there of number one. And if you look here, that particular tree is about 150 feet from the road. Here's the road. This is about, as you go right off the road, straight in, you would see this tree right about in this area here. It's tree number 99.
Is that the one that's leaning really hard?
Yes, it's actually three trees, three trunks. I'm sorry, tree 46, for the record, is the one that matches it here. So 46, yeah, right there in the corner. Right, there you go.
Is that this one?
Yep, that's it. And,
Okay.
yeah. So that's the location of it, and it's right where we would prefer to put the driveway.
Right.
It isn't really a very handsome tree. In fact, I almost debate, after looking at the base, whether or not it's actually two trees. It's one double multi-trunked, and then the other one is actually a single tree. But
I think it makes sense on the path, looking at the path.
see there, it's actually,
Okay, are
Is there a
we,
picture of a layover?
I'm not sure if that would change the context right there, but that's one thing to consider. It's also posing a hardship, like I say, for the driveway.
I mean, that one was, there was a couple I had questions about that one. I felt like you were within your purview to remove that one. This one I couldn't find. That one I didn't find. I found the ones that were in the ditch, supposed to be the corner of the house that was like going down into a ditch.
Yeah, the second one is a fairly large poplar. It's actually it's also multi-trunked. It's about a 17-inch trunk. It is tree number 99. If we can find the number there, I don't know. Yeah, look at the other, you might want to look at the other plot for where it's got the numbers. Yeah, there we go. So 99 is right there at that elevation change, and it's actually two trunks, two fairly large poplar trunks. They're like 17 inches. It's a fairly healthy tree. It's right in the middle of a ditch, but the elevation is 5 foot lower than where we're going to wind up with for the whole lot. So it wouldn't survive anyway. Oh, but more importantly, what I found out was it's actually, when they laid the strings for the foundation, one of the strings had to go right through the middle of the two trees, so it looks like half of the tree is actually in the foundation, the footprint of the house now. And I'm not sure if when Sam went out there to survey and inspect whether or not the lot lines had been put down by the surveyor. And I think that may change the scope also if it's actually in the footprint of the house, or at least half of it is right on the line.
Not if it's protected. You still have to-
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Mr. Farmer, could you show us where the house print, and then, because we can see the driveway and all that? And I'm looking at your path, it looked like you took the least resistance, less trees not in your way.
Right, yeah. So, yeah, probably right on that corner. Yeah, I think it's pretty close to this corner right in here.
Okay. Well, the path of your driveway, if we go back and look at let's look at that again, the path of the driveway going through those trees.
The green copy or?
Yeah, that green copy, that one you just, yeah, that helps us sort of understand. That's a good path. Zoom in a little bit, up, take the top, where the driveway would be, there you go. I mean, that to me looks like it makes sense. You took the path of minimizing how many trees are in the way. If we got one in the way, you're saving these trees that are on the property line?
The driveway would go right through here.
Right through
Through this area.
Okay.
And so 46 is right in the middle of the driveway. There's really no way to move it. And I'm not sure if it's a protected tree, if it's multi-trunked, is that?
If it's multi-trunk, we measure the two biggest trunks. So a lot of times you'll have, say, two 12-inch trunks is a 24-inch tree.
Okay.
So even if it doesn't look that big, it's still a protected tree.
If it's identified to be actually two trunk and a separate single tree, does that change the overall size?
It would
so that
change
it's
if it was two different trees very close together, but if it's one tree with multiple trunks coming out of the
So if it
ground.
was 20 inches on the multi-trunk, let's just say, would that be still fall
If
in
it
the
was 10 and 10, it wouldn't be before the board, but if it was 20 and 20, it would.
That would not fall even in the,
If it's 10 and 10, no.
okay.
Let me
Okay,
say,
so
I'm sorry.
we haven't had a professional arborist review these trees yet, so that could be another avenue for me to pursue.
Let's do this,
But-
because I think we did this the last two meetings ago, we talked about trees. Let's tackle number one. If it's in the driveway and we feel comfortable in that, we'll cross that one off. And then if we've got other ones, let's take a look at this and work our way through it. So,
I would just volunteer this as far as discussion.
Yeah.
But I went out there, and I walked between all the yellow tape, which I assume was the driveway and the house. I walked all through all that and said, okay, this is where the house is going to be. The only ones that I thought were questionable were the ones that were on the corner of the house in the ditch that he's saying the foundation might not be there now. So I felt fine approving. He has a lot of trees. I felt fine that these trees could be removed. My only concern was I didn't know which ones he wanted to remove. So there were a lot of big ones around the outside of the property, and I wanted to make sure he wasn't wanting to cut them down. So are all the ones that you want to remove, the 4 large trees, are they all within the footprint of the house? Were they within that yellow tape in the driveway? Or is there anything outside of that yellow tape that you're proposing to remove?
Well, actually, if we get to item 3, that's really a separate category. That's not imposing the hardship. It's a tree that I don't feel is healthy. So it's 1 and 2 that both pose the hardships as far as going forward with the plans.
are you comfortable with what, I'd like to tackle this and move.
Sure.
Number one, are we
You can
comfortable?
figure out which ones they are.
Number,
Yeah.
well, show us the one that's in the driveway, number 40.
Number
is that
46.
46?
Number one, yes, the
And
one that's
99.
leaning real over, sure, let him take that out.
46 and 99 are the two we've looked at.
Okay. And, Mr. Reeves, was that 99, is that the number 2 tree?
Yep.
Good.
Is that the one?
Let's
in
take a
the
look at
ditch?
99, and,
That's this one right here, I think.
Right, it's right along the edge of the ditch, right.
okay. Let's go to,
Sorry, what did you say about number 1?
That's the one that looks like it's leaning way over, and it seems to be in the
Three times.
driveway, and I don't have an issue with that one being removed. It looks like it may eventually fall anyhow, and,
Any replacement?
I feel like I'm
I didn't know we
asking
were
to bring.
getting to that.
oh, Mr. Caldwell, would you like to, do we want to tackle one at a time like that?
I think
What do you
may-
recommend?
You may differ on your replacement requirements from tree to tree.
Let's
So
do it.
if you could do each one with its own requirement, I think that'd be easier.
Let's do it that way, because we did it the last time that way, and it was definitely a pleasure.
I feel like I'm asking him to bring sand to the beach. He looks like he lives in the woods.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much of a replacement requirement thing on this, because he has so many trees.
He does have so many trees,
As long as he doesn't cut down any other ones,
they're outside of that.
that would be my thing.
Good deal. We'll make it,
Yeah, they're multi-trunk hardwood trees. 9 out of 10 times, they grow from the root structure. So have the ability to split in storms, and get disease over time, things of that nature. So they're not very healthy trees to begin with. So, and they're all multi-trunk trees.
We could just say
Let's-
no replacement for that one.
yeah, no replacement. So,
Yeah, there you
Ms.
go.
Lover, how about making a motion on that one, and we'll do no replacement on that one?
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to make a motion? Okay, well, I make a motion that we grant the variance BZA-25-47 with regards to the tree that's in the driveway, number
46.
46, finding that it's a hardship, it's located in the driveway of the footprint of the driveway, and that the lot has multiple large trees on it, and that I would not require replacement, I would just require that no further trees, other than any we approve here, be removed, that he leave all the other trees, except for any other ones that we rule on today.
Great, thank you, Ms.
Second.
Lover. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second for Mr. Bell. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, let's move on to number 2. This is the one that's on the corner.
It's in the ditch. It's number 99, if you want to make that motion. It's in-
Yeah. So did you decide you're going to move the
There's
footprint of that
probably a way
house?
for me to present this
He said he was going to remove the foundation.
better. As to,
On tree number 99, we're going to move through these for you. On tree 99, is that in the footprint of the house? Is it something you want to
apparently when they
remove?
staked it out, they actually, in the two very large trunks, the yellow line actually had to go through.
Go right through.
the
That's
middle
when
of
I had
the
to go
V.
through it. Okay.
So it's like right on the line, and I didn't realize that when they did the inspection initially, but I thought that would
in the-
allow us to remove it.
That's in the
But
footprint.
if it's protected, then
Can we get a motion?
we need some kind of a
You can't split a tree.
multi-trunked also.
Yeah. Now, we're going to go with it. We'll move on forward. Can we get a
A
motion?
motion that we allow him to remove
Right, thank you.
tree number 99 with no replacement schedule, provided if you shift the foundation of the house and the trunk is no longer in the foundation of the house, that it has to stay.
We shook the.
I thought you said when you came in, you thought they were going to move the tape, the yellow tape.
Oh, no, okay, yeah.
No, you didn't say that, okay.
No, no.
Okay, good deal. Let's go to, do we have a second?
Second.
I would never be able
A
to.
second from
string
Mr. Reeves. Any other discussion?
Survey.
No, all in favor of remove? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. All right, let's go on to item, tree number 3. With the one multi-trunk, can we take a look at that one? What number is that?
Okay, number 3, I'm not sure I have the number for it. I've got a picture of it. It's pretty far away from the house, so we don't really have a problem having the tree there. The problem is that it doesn't look healthy. There's other very healthy trees around it, but because the base did not look healthy, we just marked it. We included it to be removed.
Is that this tree right here? Is that tree right there?
If it's listed as item 3 in the file reference?
No, that says tree item 5.
Just a picture.
That says item 5 at the top, though.
Okay, let me,
Oh, I'm sorry, tree item 5, fungus.
yeah, it would have to be captioned as item 3.
Sorry, hold on. 4,
See, there's not one that's
Yeah, item
captioned as
3.
item 3.
we don't have,
That's why you're saying
Three,
it. I guess it wasn't a
Health
problem, so we
is
just-
probably,
It's up in the top left-hand corner.
Corner, you can see it right now, up there in the top left. Oh,
The ones in the top left, I'm wanting to leave those.
touch the
very top
wrong
left
thing.
up there.
Yeah,
Okay.
those are right by the road. I think those need to stay.
That's the particular tree. That's what the base of it looks like.
Yeah, item 3.
If you zoom in at the very base, it looks like there's some rot going on there, and the bark itself, I think there's a lot of woodpecker holes and things. It
So
just-
what number is that on your tree
That's
survey?
item 3. That is tree, that's listed as item 3 here.
Up front by the road?
if those trees have issues, why don't we just let the arborist make that
Let the
decision?
arborist make that call. Sounds
Make
good.
that call. Yeah.
So do we have a motion on
Okay.
item number 3?
Okay, well, 4 and 5 are probably in the same
Let us-
category, so rather than,
Let
I
us
guess the
finish.
question is, you have pictures number 3, but what number, if the picture has number 3, what number is it on the map? What
Oh.
tree number is it on the map?
3, I think.
No.
It's-
3 is the picture, that's not that tree. This tree's in the
I'm
middle.
not completely certain which one it is.
I don't think we're going to have to worry about that one. To Mr. Bell's point, I think what we'll do is let the arborist
Yeah.
deal with that, and you'll go back to the city, and you can figure out that number down the line.
It-
I'll make
do
I
we
would
have
make a motion to deny the variance with request to
Why don't we just-
tree item number 5, with the picture of tree item number 5, it says fungus, and let an arborist decide.
Okay.
Why don't we just offer a continuance and then let him speak to a arborist?
Okay.
And
They
then-
got that in soft.
Yes, and we
Okay.
can, then we're done.
Okay.
So, great idea.
Probably,
Yeah, yes.
So 3, 4, and 5 could probably all go in that category. We'll get the arborists to look at them.
Okay.
And that's not really going to delay our plans. I think we could proceed with permitting with those 3 needing to be assessed.
Good deal. Can we get a motion for 3, 4, and 5?
Yes, so Mr. Chairman, I will make a motion that we continuance BZA 25-45 as approved with the first 2 items, tree removals on the property, with the remaining trees to be looked at with an arborist, and a determination made that the city will report back to us at the next meeting whether to continue or just finalize the variance as granted.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. Do we have a second?
Second.
Got a second for Mr. Wise. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Ayes have it.
Okay, great. Thank you. Just wanted to point out also that items 6 and 7, we've decided to actually keep those trees.
Good.
It looks like they're going to fit in. They're far enough away from the footprint.
Good job. The trees back there in Tidewater
Nice
are
job.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, I think we took a reasonable effort to preserve most of the trees. I mean, there's nothing like watching squirrels go up and down these trees when they're on your own lot. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a pride of ownership here to have trees.
For sure.
So,
Especially in Tidewater.
In Tidewater, yep. Great, well, thank you. Have a
thank you
good day.
very much.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Great. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn, Mr.
I
Chairman.
second.
Got a second? All in favor? Aye. Great, thank you. Good job on the trees.